Poop, poop, pee, pee, doo-doo.
Look at these idiots.
Poop, poop, pee, pee. I never remember a perfect show.
What's something you want to set the record straight on?
Get off me, bitch.
Why did I admire you guys for years then?
Smoke weed every day.
Things I love about Jason. He's freaking amazing. Across many nations, he caused jubilations. Radio stations, stand ovations. He plays more spots than a freckled Dalmatian. But even though he's internationally known, he's got more layers. I don't think y'all know him. No wonder that he scores at the top of the chart, cause he's always trying to pour to the top of your heart with love. And the light that he's showing is Jason Mraz, the human poem. No matter who you are, it's time to lift to the stars today, and you'll be
having the best day ever by far. Being treated to the light like a superstar. Having the best day ever by far. Being treated to the light like a superstar.
Welcome to Eric Schwartz Makes You a Mixtape. I'm Eric Schwartz. Today, I'm making a mixtape for you about Jason Mraz. This guy is honestly one of my biggest heroes in life, and I can also call him a friend. Now, this is a podcast years in the making. I recorded these interviews for all these episodes between 2019 and 2020, right before the pandemic, and you'll see the complexity of this podcast is ridiculous, so it's taken me all this time to finally put it out. I almost didn't put this podcast out, but I felt like, you know what, there's so much good stuff in it, it needs to see the light of day. So if you like this podcast, it's up to you. If you want to see it keep going, I want you to feel like this is your podcast, that you got to tell everybody you know and get them on this. There's 3 ways you can help. You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Eric Schwartz with 3 E's. That's EEERICSCHWARTZ. It's pronounced Eric Schwartz. Facebook, Eric Schwartz. TikTok is also Eric Schwartz with 3 E's. YouTube, Eric Schwartz. The second way you can help is come see me on tour. I do live shows all the time, and if you go to my website, ericschwartzlive.com, you'll see a list of them. If I'm not coming to your city yet, make sure you get on that email list. I know email is old and antiquated, but it is the only way for me to actually get you the message. Social media is cool, but it doesn't always show you what I do. And the third way you can help is join the Patreon. It's going to have exclusive content, patreon.com/Eric Schwartz. It's going to have early content, and who knows? I'm going to listen to you what you guys want on the Patreon. Today's interview is with none other than Grammy award-winning singer and my pal, Jason Mraz. This was recorded 2020, right before the pandemic. This is the last interview I did. At this time, Jason had just finished putting the finishing touches on his album, Look for the Good. And that was so appropriate because in just moments, everything was going to have to be looking for the good unless you wanted to be depressed. Since then, he came out with an album called Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride. He won Dancing with the Stars since then. He was the real winner. Let's put it that way. So let's get into it. This is one of the coolest dudes I know. I'm so happy you guys get to see this. Please welcome Jason Mraz.
Dude.
Jason Mraz.
Eric friggin' Schwartz.
How
you doing, buddy?
How are you, dude?
Man, it's been a long time.
It has been a long time. You mean since we've seen each other or since we've known each other?
Both. I mean, I feel like I see you regularly.
Yeah, but this time it's been about...
troll you on the internet.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You can't really miss somebody now because of the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know?
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's like, I miss you. No, I
know what you're up to. You're doing fine.
Every move.
Yeah. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's good to follow this part of what will be encapsulated in your timeline.
Oh.
You know?
Sure.
Because, we're recording this, so...
Oh, yeah, so this will show up in somebody's timeline.
Yeah.
Probably more yours and highlights in mine.
Oh,
Is that
so
how it
you're
works?
saying that it's more important to me than you. Is that what you're saying?
No, this is very important to
Actually,
me.
it is
I'm
very
excited.
important. It's very important to me.
Great.
I brought some things to kind of jog our memories.
Oh, good.
About just some memories. I want to kind of start at the beginning, and I think it's appropriate that you wore an M hat for Mraz.
Yeah.
Or maybe Memphis or something.
Or...
So I brought a hat.
Okay.
I brought a hat. I don't know if you remember this hat. Remember this hat?
I kind of remember that hat. Keep going. Were you my butler in that hat? No. But we have to talk about that.
Yeah, we do have
too.
to talk about that.
Okay.
I was
what
his
is
butler
that
before.
From?
This is, you bought me this hat.
I did.
You found it at the thrift store.
Oh.
And I wore it all the time. I wore it so much
You
that
wore it out.
I broke the back of it, so it only goes to that big.
Looks
and
like a
now it
little
doesn't
kid's
fit me.
hat.
Yeah, it was a kid's hat. I didn't realize it until, and now,
But it looks good on you.
yeah, I used to do it like this. I
It
used to be
actually, it actually looked like you could serve scoops at Jenny's ice cream.
like, I could.
Yeah.
But it was
Eric's
like,
ice cream.
this is when I first met you, maybe like a couple years after I met you. We met in like 2001.
Yeah, like probably the open mic scene. Here in LA.
Well, we met with Billy here.
Yeah.
Billy, who's on
Behind the
camera and audio.
mics. Yep.
And friendship. So we met through Billy had a gig,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Bushwalla, he used to go by, and the Grandmasters of All That Is Fat, right?
That's right.
The
And
Ill Stars of Funk.
No, this was Grandmasters of All That Is Fat.
Okay.
Live at Mr. T's Bowl.
Oh, was that when we met,
That's
Mr.
when
Cheese
we
Bowl?
met.
That was the first
How
time we met.
iconic. You know, they remodeled that place.
Really? What
now
is
it's
it?
like $6,000 if you want to have a little gathering in there.
Serious?
They don't stab people there anymore.
No.
Oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah, they remodeled. They found all the old school decor, like from 100 years ago, behind the walls, and
Yeah.
it's immaculate. It's a gorgeous bowling alley in Highland Park.
I don't even remember where it is. It's in Highland Park.
Yeah, Mr. T's Bowl, Highland Park.
Well, that was the first night we met. Terry Joyce was the booker on that. You guys were doing music. You were in the band. It was like a 8-piece band.
Something like that.
And then
It was a mess. It was great.
and yeah, it was like kind of, it was very rustic. And then I was doing comedy, and then you guys were like the house band, and then that was the first time I ever like really went back and forth with a band.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you realize, but like you and Billy are like two of my biggest like influences and like set me on a path that I wouldn't have gone on without you guys. Yeah.
In the path where you're pursuing music in your comedy?
Yes.
Oh, you're so good at it.
Oh.
That would have come naturally.
Really?
We just gave you permission because
That's true.
when you saw us and you're like, these guys are terrible, and they're still getting laughs. Then you thought, I can be better than those guys and
No
do okay.
way.
That's it.
I admire
That's how
you.
it works.
Oh my God. Why did I admire you guys for years then?
Because you saw, look at these idiots. They're making it work. They don't even have great content, but they're making it work. When we were doing that band, we didn't have any content. Most of it was freestyle. And we would have like a phrase that would be our chorus. So as
Right.
long as we went back to the chorus, we were safe. And then the rest of it was just poo poo, pee pee, doo doo, smoke weed every day. I don't know, weird stuff.
That's
but
what
we were having
music
fun.
is.
That's what music is. Weird stuff.
From there, like, and yes, I remember your chorus. I remember your chorus that you go back to that would always get stuck in my head.
Was it?
That made it into your Curbside Prophet song.
Oh, sure.
It was, hey, hey, something's different in the world today. They changed my traffic signs to a brighter yellow.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. So from there, like I'm going to take this hat off because
Sure.
it's really choking my head off. But from there, we Kiff and Coffee.
Yeah, we kept doing gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, open mics and wherever we set up the PA.
Was that, Billy, was that something that you
Championed.
Yes, that was okay. So somebody called me, a friend of mine called me and said, hey, I got a gig at Mr. T's Bowl and I need a band. And I said, I have a band. And I hung up the phone and I called him and I was like, yo, we got to put together a band, bro. Like, I don't have a band.
Was that your first band?
That was my first band experience.
Man, it worked.
Well, experience out here, yeah, it worked because I got him on board, and then, but it was like another friend of ours was the drummer of he was a drummer of some like punk metal band, but they were huge. I mean, there was like some great players.
Oh,
Aaron Montgomery. Who did he play with? Unwritten Law.
not Seether, but in the rock category.
Yeah. But I mean, they were real players. And we had a DJ.
Yeah.
And everybody had a
Jay
solo.
Specs.
Jay Specs, and that was the trick. Everybody take it. Everybody took a solo. And then you just believe it, and the funk will come.
So back then, yeah, like when we did Kiff and Coffee was a gig that it was an open mic. That's where we really we really kind of bonded there. It was a music and comedy open mic that I don't think is is seen today. Like everyone was into it. Open mics usually people aren't paying attention, you know?
And they're usually separated.
Yeah.
This was an open mic where you can be musically inclined and you can be comedically inclined.
Are you looking for pictures of Kif
No,
and Coffee?
I'm actually looking for the rock band from the
you're
early
looking it up?
2000s.
Oh, okay.
What is it? We would cross paths occasionally. Like a year or two later, we were all on tour in different bands, and we'd cross paths and be like, oh, what up? Anyway.
That's awesome. Well, okay, so like, yeah, that feeling of community was like early on for me with you guys.
Yeah, that's where I met Ian. I met Ian at Kif and Coffee.
Because of the DJ.
Because he was friends with, and on one of the nights where we're hosting basically music, comedy, open mic, whatever, this bass player shows up and he's just playing solo bass to whatever beats the DJ's throwing down.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm thinking, I already knew I needed a bass player for my act.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at this guy. He needs a band. And
Yeah.
we ended up being together like 10 years.
That's what I love about you is like, there are so many things that like have inspired me about you. Is like you have a tattoo on your right here. Or no, is it here?
Everywhere.
Yeah, you have a tattoo there too.
I'm covered. Like you can't tell, but this is all tats.
Is it? Oh, the skin part?
All of it. Yeah.
And then you just do the negative space
Yep.
is what looks like the
you
tattoo?
have to have the decoder pen.
Yeah.
Only certain people get to use that.
I like that. That's a good philosophy in tattoos. You have one that says beginner.
Yes.
That one always sticks in my head. Because I asked you what it meant and you were like, well, why don't you tell us?
Well, because I'm just beginning. Because the beginner's mind is a great place to come from. Beginners have more fun. When I first started surfing, I was probably almost 30, and everyone in the water was a great surfer. And I'm this floppy guy in the whitewash, trying not to drown and stay out of everybody's way. And I said, you know what? I wish I just had beginner tattooed on my back so that I could just say it out loud and proud. So I can just own this moment. And I know that I'll always have fun if I just own the fact that I'm learning. And I don't have to be good. I don't have to be great. I can be great later. I'll be beginner today. So I ended up getting that tattooed. I think it's on my arm. Is it on this arm? Yeah. Because I have another one over here. Beginner. I love that. When I'm surfing, I'm like, what up, beginner? Stay out of my way. And people can't say, fuck off, you beginner, because I'm a beginner.
But I think that,
But
you know, and it's every part of your life, not just surfing.
Yeah, totally.
That new experience. Like when you came over here, I go, do you want tea? And then you said no. And then I read you the ingredients, and there were ingredients that you never had in tea before. And you're like, I like new experiences.
That's right. New experiences. Let's have it.
Yeah.
I like that. Thanks.
Have you? Yeah, dude. My second favorite tattoo, by the way, is that you have one right here that says rest area.
That's
and
true.
I said, what does that mean? You're like, that's for the lady.
That's right. That's
right
for the
on your
lady.
chest. Yeah.
If you need a place to rest, I
Yeah.
got you.
I love it.
I got you.
So what's... Yeah, do you...
But over here it says, get off me, bitch.
It does it? Oh, good. Sorry.
No, I'm just
See,
kidding.
now you're pointing this thing at me.
Yeah, this is
and
dangerous.
It's dangerous.
All right.
That's cool. No, you could leave it there.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to because it's all wired in, hardwired.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fine. How about this?
Is that cool?
cool?
Does that look good?
It's great.
It looks fine? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like with like new experiences, one of your most famous lyrics, and Billy always quotes this, is you win some, you learn some.
That's right.
And like I think that's like what are some of like the learns that you've had?
Oh, man. You know what? I never remember a perfect show. It's the ones where something goes terribly wrong, or I say something stupid, or just the show gets derailed somehow, and then I have to recover. I have to figure out how to recover. And maybe I don't recover gracefully, but enough time goes by. Hopefully it's minutes, but sometimes it takes days. And then you start to laugh at that. Then you really do. You're like, that. Remember how embarrassing that was? I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
And those actually become the favorite moments amongst friends and anybody who was in those moments, because you love reminding someone how they screwed up, right? And for me, that also just helps me practice my recovery and helps me learn that, hey, discomfort doesn't mean danger. So I don't look at anything as a loss. No wasted effort. It's just a learning moment. So you win some and you learn some.
Dude, that's so good. See, people learn from you. People learn from you. Like, you're such a good example, I feel like, with... Oh, here's my second item I'm going to give you. Okay? All right, here we go. And this is real, it reminds me of...
Wait, did you give me the first item?
What's that? Oh,
No.
Oh, no, I'm just showing...
Okay.
I'm keeping that. Can I keep my hat?
got it. So the second item
I will
that
give
you're
this-
showing me.
I'll give this to you because I'll give it back to you. Because this is a shirt that you
Holy
lent me.
smokes. I loaned you that?
Yeah.
When?
You said I could keep it, but I was
Yeah.
like, nah, this means something to him.
What a cool shirt.
Yeah. You forgot you had this.
I did.
Yeah. So this is the Bob Marley shirt. He's smoking a huge spliff, which
He
I would
is.
never wear only because
You don't
and he
smoke.
has-
You don't smoke who's flipped. So
I
I
know.
gave that to you though. Did you need it?
What? No, I needed it because we were at Mona and Chaska's birthday party roller skating.
Oh,
And for some reason,
That
like
wasn't
I
that
didn't
long
have a shirt or like t-shirt. I must have been wearing a tux or something. I don't know
it
what I
was
was wearing.
like a funky theme.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, that's what it was.
it was like
Yeah.
disco 70s funk or
Yeah.
something, right?
Disco's theme. And I
70s
didn't have
theme.
anything like disco, and you gave me this shirt. It's
I was like, well,
Bob
here's
Marley
one
smoking weed with Rasta laser beams
coming out of his
coming
eyes.
out of his eyes, and I was like, oh, I'll give this back to you. I'll wash it and give it back to you. You go, nah, you can keep it.
Is it confirmed that it is Bob Marley though? It's kind of
Might not
tough
be.
to say. It does look.
It looks like
him.
Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
But
be somebody else.
I don't think it's necessarily a trademarked Marley image.
No.
Either way, I'll gladly accept this shirt.
Yeah.
I love this shirt.
You're gonna get more.
I don't
wear out of
usually
it.
wear pink salmons because I feel like I am pink salmon.
Yeah. Skin tone,
Yeah,
and then that just looks like one tattoo of a Marley on your chest.
exactly. But thank you so much. I love this shirt.
Yeah, man. But what I wanted to make the comparison, because people get inspired by you, like Bob Marley.
Oh, thanks.
You know, like Bob Marley is an inspiration, and I feel like he's a musician that has a lot of good messages in his songs.
Right.
How, like, I'm sure he was an influence on you,
Big time.
and yeah, I want to know about that.
Cool.
Like, yeah.
Discovered him in high school, like a lot of others, through the legend curation of greatest hits, which is, I think, a portal into reggae for a lot of people. And his message kind of sneaks up on you, which yesterday I had a friend send me a text that I just recently played a gig with, and he had to learn a lot of my songs for the gig. And he goes, man, it was some version of every day I wake up, one of your songs is stuck in my head, a different song. And he's like, they're so deep. There's so many different things I never heard before. And I was like, yes, that's the fun is, if you look deeper, there's other layers to them. And I feel like Bob Marley's music has that. On the surface, it's tropic, it's gorgeous, it's cool, great melodies, nice rhythms and hooks that you can easily get on board with, even before you really understand what's being told. And a lot of times he's talking about injustices and inequality, and that it's all going to be okay. There's providing some comfort. And so that kind of medicine in the music is something that I found myself doing a few years later when I started picking up a guitar and emoting my life through that medium. I would try to sing messages that comforted me, that made me feel a little less confused at 18 or 19 years old, or a little focused when I'm chasing a dream at 21. Some comfort when I'm away from home, or, those things. So I start trying to weave anything I'm learning on my path. I try to weave it into the song, not just for the audience. Usually it's just for me, because that is the best way for me to save that lesson, save that memory, save that that level up, that memento from that that era. It's like songs are my little souvenirs. Like
Wow.
journals are the best way I can remember a trip or a month.
Yeah.
You know, not like I don't know when I bought this T-shirt. I don't know the history of it.
You don't do
But-
it through fashion.
But I can look through
Yeah.
books and remember who I was, right? And then if I can put that stuff in song and it does make it to the stage, then that stuff lives in me forever as my language.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. But then it also has the possibility of being passed on to others, that they might find comfort in it as well. But it's honestly, it's quite selfish. It begins with me just trying to have some comfort and organize my thoughts.
Yeah.
And as a writer, one of my goals is don't be boring. And it's so easy as a singer-songwriter to just be boring, and you do a predictable formula and just have the song and that's it, which is fine. There's plenty of time and place for that.
Yeah.
But I knew that an audience or a listener was giving me their greatest wealth, which is their time and attention. So what can I do with that 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes at an open mic? How can I be the best I can be? Even if I don't know everything, I don't have to be great. I'm just polishing my light and trying to get it great for right now.
I've heard people say that. Don't waste the audience's time.
I don't want to waste their time.
Yeah.
So even if I'm doing something I've done before, what am I going to do fresh on it tonight? What can I, even if I don't have anything prepared, I'll scat on it, or I'll tell a story that happened earlier, or I'll just do something to feel, for me to make it feel new.
Yeah.
And hopefully if there's the same audience in there from last week, they'll also get something new from it. So
like what you said is that it has a lot of personal meaning for you, and sometimes there's layers that you may not get on the first time.
yeah.
But then you also mentioned scatting.
Uh-huh.
Does the scatting have a deeper meaning than what we hear?
Sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll drop in the scat as almost like onomatopoeia. Like it'll be a reflection of something that I may have just said, or I'll sneak a word into that.
It's the remix.
Yeah.
You just take the first. I didn't even notice that, man.
But
You're a
most
genius.
of the time, back in the day, it started because I was by myself and I needed to fill time. And I didn't have anybody to take a solo. I was like, take it. And I have to be like, I have to do my
So
own
the
solo.
scat solo.
Yeah. And like, and then my sound man was getting into it, and he'd work the delay.
Yeah.
So then it started to be a thing. Like we'd work together on the scatting and the
Yeah.
delay.
How do you scat? I've tried it. Like I try to do it, and it always sounds kind of corny.
It is. It's
It
very
is?
corny. It's
No,
very
but the way
corny.
you do it.
No,
No,
if
I'm
I don't
telling you.
practice,
Okay.
it's corny. And occasionally I'll go out to a show and I'll start scatting, and I'll even notice this is corny, and then I have to stop. I'm like,
Do you memorize
oh,
the
no.
scat? I mean, it feels so improvisational, but do you
Some
ever...
are memorized.
You do?
Some get so
Whoa.
fluent because other singers in the band will want to harmonize on the scat.
Oh.
So then I can't change the scat.
Oh. It's...
Yeah, I have a song coming out this summer called "Take the Music," and there's a memorized scat that people harmonize to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing. I got it. Let's
It's
do
that
it.
one.
Ready?
Yeah. Almost.
All right. I have a...
Two more times you'd have it.
Two more times. I got it. Mm-hmm. That's like... That feels so improvisational, but you're like... It's planned.
It's almost like a horn arrangement.
Yeah.
So you'd write the horn arrangement, even though horns sometimes will sound like, oh, they just blasted that out for no reason. But
That's awesome, man. And I know you just blew people's minds with that.
some songs actually begin as all scat. Like I
Okay.
just have a groove or something, or a place I want to go on the guitar or the melody, and I'll just scat for hours
Yeah.
until they start to turn into English.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of like what rappers do when they kind of just gibberish rhyme,
Sure.
right? Mm-hmm. And then you just put melody to it.
Yeah.
With hip hop though,
But that's probably how a lot of raps are started, with
Mm-hmm.
gibberish. But I think the goal is you still have to go back and just make it write a message. they sweep. They sweep.
What the hell does that mean? The Scat Translator's on the scene, decoding all the scats, that's a mystery. No, it's not just gibberish. It's something specific, like some linguistic hieroglyphics. If you listen beyond the sound, the messages abound. Allow me to show you how I break it down. I feel that. Interesting. I got it. Now what you hear is the tale of a hard-working janitor, dead from sweeping all week, and he's had enough. And now it's Saturday, his day to rest, and he sings these words just to decompress. He says, ripped it and gripped it and sweep. Saturday is the day I gotta get sleep. Dead. Scat.
But hip hop also has played a big part in your music.
It has.
I mean, you're one of the first singer-songwriters that I ever saw freestyle.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, before me, I mean, I grew up in high school listening to G Love, and he was doing it. I think East Coast guys were doing it for sure. There has to be West Coast guys doing it for sure. I know I wasn't the first. I know because I had idols that I admired. So G Love, Special Sauce, Mike Doty from Soul Coughing. I don't know if he was necessarily rapping, but...
Well, I mean, but freestyling. Maybe I didn't see them live.
Freestyling, sure. Well, those guys are freestyle. Bob Dylan, rapper.
Really?
Totally.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why. And you're going to hate me for saying this, but I've never been into Bob Dylan's singing voice.
That's
I never got it.
You're not the first person that said that. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't get... Like, this guy's not a singer.
Yeah.
So maybe now I can listen to him again and be like,
he's
this
a rapper.
dude's an MC.
He is.
Oh,
if you listen from that perspective, he'll blow your mind.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to like maybe do a cover of his song with some hardcore beats.
Oh, that's an amazing idea.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some Dylan. J Dilla. B Dilla.
Robert
Robert
Zimmerman.
Oh, Zimmerman. And he's Jewish?
Yeah. It's all there. It is,
dude. You just made me like Bob Dylan.
Maybe we can get him on Podcast and Musical.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yes.
Sorry for asking.
And he's a world class. He's a world class. Fun fact, Bob Dylan. Fun fact. He's a world class fine art sculptor of welding. That's his medium.
Really?
Yeah. He is a world-class welder. His works appear in museums.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He does like Tim Burton-esque wrought iron gates made out of like just junkyard scrap metals.
That's, well, because a lot of artists do that. They'll pick up another art form. What's yours? Do you have? Oh, I know what it is. I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Is it farming?
It's not really, I mean, it's more like landscaping if you're looking at a creative art form.
But you're creating.
But farming is more like economical, environmental, sustainable. It's farming, I don't see as art.
I see it as creating.
Okay. Creation, yeah.
Like
it's not welding for museums.
Okay. Well, how about you answer the question, not me?
I haven't gotten into my...
You craft.
I craft a little, but not...
You type eloquently.
I type some, but that's just another tool for writing. So writing is the same.
You know what you've done that I was like blown away that you did it? Hot 7 stand-up comedy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's been on a couple of my shows.
Thank you.
And you're funny, man.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I view stand-up comedy as the highest art form.
Whoa.
Especially in live performance.
Wow.
Because you're sure there's plenty of comics that have gimmicks and bits that they rely on, but for me, I know I can always go to a song. So even if my banter, like I can feel banter and try to find the laughs in those beats, but I know I can always go to a song, and that is a safe place for me. So after going to a lot of open mics and comedy nights and seeing comics just talk and improvise and try out new ideas, I wanted to feel what that was like, to not rely on a guitar and just have some conversation.
I think that's something that people don't realize about you, like your funny side. We've done sketches together. You're always funny. Like you always like entertain us when we've done this Christmas show several times. That's it's fun and funny, and you're the ringleader. You lead us all, like the community of. There's Mona, there's Chaska, there's Becky, Billy, Abby, so many.
Ben.
It goes on and on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
Molly, musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, Molly, Dre,
Jesse.
so many. But you kind of, led us through this creating this show in like days. We would do this
Massive like SNL style holiday show with music and sketches.
Yeah. And I noticed like that's kind of like a musical. And then you did Waitress on Broadway,
Which is also a musical.
And you just recently did Shine,
Right. Which
is a musical.
Kind of a musical.
I haven't seen it. So
You would have loved that because it was kind
Really?
of a comedy musical.
Cool.
That wasn't written. I mean, it was written. Abby Dorsey, aka MC Flo, wrote a beautiful script, story, a through line that would connect my songs as well as all these different programs that we used in the show. So basically, I tapped about 7 different nonprofits in the San Diego area to come and be a part of this. And basically, for them, I looked at it at first as like a talent show. I was like, I'll use my songs as the formula, but each song will be performed by a different group. So dancers, musicians, singers, instrumentalists, all young people, all kids, middle and high school kids. But the through line that Abby wrote was also just a kind of a guide.
Yeah.
But we could still enter the stage, Billy and I, or whoever I was with, even the kids, and just kind of freestyle the moment, just feel it. And how are we going to get from that song to this? So it was fun. And we let the audience know it's musical-ish. I had to be careful how I use that term musical because that's how it was advertised. A new musical adventure by Jason Mraz and Friends. And my phone was blowing up like, congrats on your new musical.
Yeah.
And I haven't written a musical.
Right.
They're just my songs with some comedy in between.
Right.
That was a long story.
No, but I think it's interesting because people, I think if they just hear the surface of, the songs that they hear at CVS,
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There's so much more to you, than I'm yours and lucky and I won't give up. Yeah. What do you think is like the most common misconception about you? Like, what do you think people, like, if you could make them see something, like for me, I feel like a lot of my colleagues might see me as like, I just do music, right? And that's how I get through with my stand-up, But what's something like you want to set the record straight on? Like, have you ever feel that way?
Well, I just typed in Jason Mraz is.
Oh, I thought you were like, I don't want to answer this question, so I'm going into my phone.
No,
so
Jason Mraz.
Did I say the wrong question?
Is what genre? I love that.
That's awesome.
What Google comes up with.
That's dope.
Jason Mraz is what genre?
Well,
maybe that's
what people want to know then.
What genre is Jason Mraz? What genre doesn't he have? He's the world's most versatile musician, full of styles and his hat like started with Keyshawn.
My ukulele laid in reggae gonna wiggle your butt. I'm what's known in the biz as a musical mutt. I'm a folk, jazz, yacht, rock, smooth, croon rapper. I'll make your elevator ride go by faster.
Call me emo, or screamo, it won't hurt my ego.
I'm legend like John, I am ordinary people. I can keep the genres going if the beat drops. I can be an a cappella group with some sweet vox. La 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 la. If you put me in a box, I will beatbox.
What genre is Jason Mraz?
My wedding songs, they're on top of the list. Songs for making babies and songs for the bris. My sneakers never sleep, no I don't stop. I'm definitely on the sneakers where your mom shops. My name is my virtue, I'm so much more. That's why my social media handle has an underscore.
What genre is Jason Mraz? I'm more confused each time I ask.
I got styles for miles, I'm Mr. A to Z. What genre am I? You tell me. What genre?
But I don't know. I'm not final. I think that's the misconception.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm very lucky that I've had some works that really peaked and became well known. Sometimes I meet people that are, they're like, "Oh man, I'm such a big fan. I used to listen to your music all the time. You know, that third album of yours was my favorite." Or, you know, I grew up listening to your first album. You know, I used to listen to music all the time. And in my head, I'm thinking, you know, you still can.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I'm still making stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I hate
In
that.
fact, I think my next album is going to be my best one yet. So I'm kind of hoping people still trust me with their time to entertain them.
I want to ask you about the new album, but I want to touch on something you just said. Is when people they try to compliment you, and it ends up like you're like, I'm not gonna show I got my feelings hurt a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do people say to me?
I had
It's-
one.
Well, yeah.
I had a bunch.
Yeah.
I had a lady come up to me once and go, "Wow, you're so much better looking in person."
Oh, God.
And I went, "Wow, you just told me I look awful in pictures."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No," and I'm like, "Well, you did," and I walked away.
Oh.
Oh, it happens.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because then they feel bad because they're trying to compliment you.
Right. But notice
Yeah.
he's not on camera for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, do you know what the new one is that I hear all the time? Yeah. Yeah.
a
Move
reason.
that camera back over. Move that camera back over. Well, he's backlit. Okay, so give him credit. He's backlit. But like the one that I hear now is when I destroy on stage. Right, I have one of the best sets of my life.
Uh-oh.
And then I get, "You're pretty funny." I'm like, "No, I'm very funny, motherfucker." I just destroyed.
You're pretty
Did
funny.
you not see it?
Oh.
Like, I think that's just how people are saying it now. You're pretty good. Like, they mean it not like,
I
"Hey,
think
you're
they
pretty good."
genuinely are like, that's their really.
Yeah.
You're really funny.
Yeah.
You're pretty funny.
Pretty became really. So it's like, "You're pretty funny," is what they mean. But I'm hearing it as, "You're pretty funny."
You're pretty funny.
Yeah.
You're like pretty funny.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I think people don't use the words they actually mean because they're in the moment with you. Because there's just one comedian I love, and I saw him, and afterwards he was there, and he's like, "Thanks for coming to the show," and I looked at him, and then I walked out. I said nothing, and it probably looked like I hated the show. But you know, so I think when somebody's like, "Yeah, pretty funny," they're also trying to be cool with you. Like,
yep.
I don't want to float you too much because you know
okay.
what I mean. So, hey, you're pretty funny there.
You're pretty funny.
So, would anybody ever tell you?
They don't want to scare you off.
Times
Yeah.
by 10.
They also just saw you maybe that once. So
you
they're
gotta
probably like,
prove it.
"Hey, you know what? I just saw you and you're pretty funny." But do it twice, you know?
You want to impress me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, your new album that's coming out
Uh-huh.
is a reggae album.
It is.
No,
It's about time.
When you tell people about that,
Yep.
do they think it's a stretch?
No.
They don't.
No.
Good.
But the few people who've heard it, they go, "Oh,
Okay.
I get it," because it throws them off.
To me, "I'm Yours" is a reggae song.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole album of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I can't wait to hear that. And somebody I don't know if I can say this. We can cut it out if I can't say this. But Tiffany Haddish is on it?
Right. It depends on when this is posted, but I don't see why we can't say it.
All right.
Yeah.
Did I hear that?
Yeah. And I know she's a friend of yours.
Yeah.
We talked about you in the studio. She loves you.
She does?
She does.
I haven't heard from her in a while.
Oh,
No, I
really?
saw her at the forum.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, good. Yeah, because she even said, I owe him a phone call. I said, hey, me too.
That's nice.
She was fantastic. She was such a pleasure to be in the room with.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tiffany Haddish makes an appearance on this record.
She's so funny. She just goes on stage I just did the forum with Joe Coy, and she just like people love her as soon as she gets on stage.
Yep.
She's been here a few times, and then we did a video together called Throw Shade. I actually wrote this song called Throw Shade about her, and Angela Johnson. I kind of made a song for them, and we recorded that. I had water damage in this place, so I was in a hotel, and I recorded her in a hotel room in front of. I took one of the mattresses off.
Yes.
And she was just totally down.
Totally.
She was like, so yeah, she's always, I feel like she's blown up so big, and she's like still like really down to earth.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of why she's blown up so big, because she's so genuine, so easy to work with. People are like, oh, thank goodness.
How did you think of her for that? Like, I don't know what the part is, but
Man, I go with the flow, and that's a secret to my success a lot of times, is I feel like I'm supposed to meet the people I meet when I meet them. I don't really have a wish list, and I go out and pursue certain things. And those that I do, when I do that, it just doesn't feel genuine. And so I had You Do You on the track, which I wrote mostly with MC Flo, Abby Dorsey. And we knew there was this one rap in the middle that Abby crushes, and it's her voice. We've been singing it for years. We just thought, if this ever comes out, we should just entertain the idea of another woman singing it. Let's just see what happens. We'll go with the flow. But we didn't really look. We didn't look. And about a week before the album was finished, I'm hanging with Jen Rosenstein, photographer, who also shoots with Tiffany.
yeah.
And they're just hanging. And Jen's talking up Tiff like she's so great. She said, you'd love her. You guys would get along. She knows Eric, and you guys know a lot of the same people. And I've seen her in a few things, and I was a big Tuka and Birdie fan as well. And so I was really familiar with her voice through that, especially her voice. And I just said the words, does she rap? To Jen. And Jen goes, I'll ask her. And it was all by text. And it was like, yes, she'd love to do it. And like within seconds, we started a conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I asked, because something in me was like, I wonder if she'd be interested in being on a song.
Yeah.
And that was it. We started texting, and a week later, we were in studio. I went and saw her a few nights later. She was playing in Temecula at the casino out there.
Pala?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Pachanga?
so. Pachanga? One of them.
Pala? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she rapped. I got her first though, man. So
good.
Yeah, she rapped on my thing first, and then it's set the stage for you, and
there you go.
Yeah.
But just so you can appreciate the moment. Songs written by Abby Dorsey, Jewish girl.
Amazing.
Jen Rosenstein, Jewish photographer, says, hey, maybe my friend Tiffany Haddish, also Jewish comedian, wants to be a part of this. The song produced by Michael Goldwasser, Jewish guy.
So are you saying you're converting?
Well, I'm in the middle of writing the liner notes. And part of me in the thank yous, I really want to thank the Jews.
Thank the Jews.
I should thank the
and
Jews.
You know how you do that?
How do I do it?
You write them from right to left in Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Half
Scatting.
my band is Jewish as well.
Oh, perfect. Scatting is almost the same thing as Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah. We can do this.
Hinei Matov.
You knew that.
I did.
All right, you're in. You're in. This is what I want to ask you about, because you are big on transformation.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. Are you? I don't know. I think of you that way, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I think that is what we were talking about earlier, that I'm always open to new experiences.
Yes.
And I think transformation is a constant unfolding. Is you're not final. You're never just going to be your one thing. You're always sure, I can be everything my past has accumulated up till now, but I'm also, this is some version of a cocoon that I'm weaving new ideas, and I trust that I'm going to evolve into something else. So,
Your journal.
So transformation is ongoing. So yeah, I'm into it.
So this is something that I've personally like had a question about. Maybe you can clear it up for me. So some of your themes that I just hear this everywhere, is like there's transformation, but there's also the idea that I am enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I am enough, why do I need to change?
Right.
Right? So that's like a conundrum that do you ever think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
We got to solve this.
That's where a guru would look at you and go, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I am whole and complete. Nothing is missing.
Mm-hmm. You know, maybe
But-
the way... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The sun will set and I will go to sleep. And tomorrow the sun will rise and I will wake up, probably in a different place. So there will be a newness to that. You know, I think that's nature is transformative. You know, if we weren't transforming, we would never get silver pubic hairs.
Oh, yeah.
Silver pubic hairs. Do you have any yet?
Nope.
That's a personal
I
question.
keep them so short though, I wouldn't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Like you can't... Yeah.
I
Is that too much
You do?
information?
You
I
have silver?
do. Yeah, I got some low hangers. I got some grandma's eyebrows. You know?
That's what we call a silver lining.
I actually haven't looked at all of them recently,
Just
but
a few. You know.
so I think that, but though I just, as you were saying that, I thought maybe they are, you can be both. You can be enough, and you can also be transforming, because you're on a journey, right? Mm-hmm. The journey's gonna change, but if you're enough the whole time, you're enough to keep adapting.
There you go. I love that.
Cool.
Throughout the day, your shadow is going to change and elongate and be all different. But your spirit is the same, I think.
Yeah.
You know, whatever your energy is inside of you, whatever that little light that we're all connected to powers us, I think that is consistent.
It's like whatever the situation, you are enough for it. Like if all your pubic hairs turn gray, your pubic hairs as a whole
Are enough.
are enough.
And I've had enough.
Yeah, it's enough of these.
Enough of these.
What function do they serve?
Jeez. Maybe in like the Neolithic era. Is that an
Yeah.
era? Neolithic?
Sure, I think
Isn't that
it's-
where Neanderthals came from?
maybe.
No, I thought it was to clean your partner.
Yeah, I think before soap.
Like a Brillo?
Yeah, like why you get two jobs done at once.
Yeah, this like that's a sponge.
Yeah, it's a loofah and
it's a loofah.
a pad.
I thought it was just to kind
it's
of
a lot-
keep your
a pound pad.
reproductive organs warm.
I think you're right, guys. Pubic hair did serve a purpose before soap.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't put any Ajax down there or nothing right before you get it on?
No, not before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just me.
Jason's back on his phone again.
Yeah.
He's losing interest.
What is pubic hair purpose?
Okay.
Purpose?
You're looking it up. You're looking it up.
It does have a purpose.
What is it?
Providing a cushion against friction that can cause skin abrasion and injury.
You're right.
Protection from bacteria and other unwanted pathogens. And is the visible result of long-awaited adolescent hormones.
Ah.
Certainly nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. So to all our young viewers, pubic hair has a job to do.
And that is, yes, that's a lesson. And now the more you know. Ding, 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 ding. Wow, guys, see, this podcast is so, it's also informative.
You win some, you learn some.
You learn some, and we learned a lot. Man, the word love, when I think of you,
Oh boy.
I think of the word love.
That's right.
Love is your brand.
Oh man.
I don't know if you're gonna
I
say that.
appreciate that. I do appreciate that because it's a practice.
Yeah.
Because I'm not always loving. I mean, I put Be Love tattoo on my arm so that I could remember, oh yeah, be nice, be love, you know? And also in that if you ever fall into that experience where you feel like you have the absence of love, where like, oh man, nobody loves me, nobody's calling me, whatever, you can remember, oh, but I can be love. And I can go out and be love and give love to someone else and then realize, oh yeah, I'm filled with it. I don't have to get it from somebody else to be it. It's this sort of always replenishing hydrant love is. And the world is thirsty for it. And there's enough of it, and yet people are still starving for it. So love, for me, as a practice in my songwriting, because again, I try to put my messages and life lessons in my songs so that they can become my mantras. When I sing a lot about love, it's actually because I wrote that from the opposite experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I wrote it from the experience of I want love. I am looking for love, or I need to be better at being love and giving love to people.
Wow.
So it's not that I have it all worked out and I'm just giving it away easily.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm choosing to practice it so that I can be a better person.
That's what I think when I was asking you about what's the most common misconception. I think maybe
yeah.
that you have it all worked out.
That is a good misconception.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah. And you just have a good way of putting it to music, you know? I don't know.
Thanks.
I look at you as a great example of a somebody that I would aspire to be like.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
That's real nice of you to say.
No, I do. Like I
You're doing it already.
you know.
You
thank
are
you.
me.
Thank you then. Thank
We
you.
are each other
There we go.
in some ways.
Another word that I think about when I think of you is weed.
Weed. That's a common misconception too, I bet.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I assume.
So what's the misconception?
I don't know. That I
you don't
don't
smoke
smoke
weed?
weed. I don't know, because I've shown up in so many middle schools
Oh, okay. So we shouldn't talk about it.
as like, you know, it's just an advocate for arts and arts education, you know.
Okay.
That's it. But it's not. I've never done anything to like go out and advertise how much weed I smoke.
Okay, then we won't.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't mind. I'm not ashamed of it.
Okay,
I've
good.
just never had a platform for it. And also because it's been illegal for most of my life,
Yeah.
I've decided not to really bring that into my story.
Okay.
It's not important. But I also will say, if this stays in the podcast, I will say, I don't like to use it as a writing tool. I don't prefer it as a writing tool. I love writing tools. I love journals. I love pens. I love typewriters. I love prompts. I love games, things that get me writing. I love different instruments that will inspire me to write differently. I think weed is fun. It's my wine, I guess. It's what I like to get drunk on.
Yeah.
And I love to make music on it and play music on it, but I don't like to. I don't rely on it as a writing tool because it's misleading. It's a trickster.
Okay.
You know, it's hard for me to capture all of the thoughts that I'm having and put them into really a well-written song.
Okay.
It's more of like, I'm going to go fishing for a while and I'll just go and like have a million ideas and hope that when I'm done, I remember one of them.
I've never tried it.
Ever? Maybe that's what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
I have plenty.
You have. I've never. Yeah. Billy's tried. Billy's tried it. Yeah.
Really?
Have you tried?
There has to be one. You know, it's legal in California.
Yeah, but I've never tried. The closest I ever got was I used to DJ, and I DJ'd Spring Break in Jamaica like
Yes.
6 or 7 times, and yeah, so
Like 6 or 7 years
in a row. Yeah. From
Wow. And
yeah.
you still managed to avoid cannabis.
Yeah, well, here's the closest I
Okay.
think I might have gotten high once, contact high, because the DJ booth, people would come in the DJ booth, everyone's smoking weed, and it's still illegal there, actually.
Yeah.
You would never think.
It's finally loosening up a bit.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like so funny. Like Jamaica's like, no, we not legalize weed, and everybody as they're smoking the joint,
Yeah.
it's illegal, and the cops are like smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I never tried. So everyone was kind of hotboxing me in the DJ booth because it was an enclosed structure.
Okay.
So all I remember is that
We got to recreate that scene.
yeah,
Anyway, keep talking.
I was in there and I started getting dizzy and hungry.
Yeah.
So I think, oh, I've heard of that effect, you know? So I think that's maybe I got hotboxed once.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But I mean, I take a sip of champagne, I'm like, I'm wasted. So, yeah. Yeah, so maybe like because you're so experienced in reggae.
A little bit.
There's never been a song about reggae that's like, I've never smoked weed.
You might be right.
My friends do pot, but I do not. My friends take weed, but I've no need. My friends smoke kush, but I just push it away. They smoke the spliffs and the smoke is thick. Puff, puff, pass, and they offer me it, so I say pass. Then they look at me strange, like I don't have manners, and where was I raised? Oh, why do they care if I'm high? I'm not judging them or their principles. We all have addictions, natural or prescriptions. Mine are just things like exercise and vegetables. You see, my friends do pot, but I do not. My friends pass ganj, but I don't respond. My friends talk herb, but I whisper, no way. They say it helps them take their minds to a higher level, but I get lifted every day in my spiral journal. I organize my thoughts and I'm planning out my goals. So if you smoke my journal, your brain won't explode. So I never have tried it, cause what if I do and end up I like it? Then I never can meet my goals, and I trade vegetables for the Oreos. See, my friends do pot, but I do not. My friends roll joints, but I disappoint. My friends hotbox, so I probably got high anyway. Dude, give me an Oreo.
You did, what, 8 albums with a record label?
Well, 6 studio albums.
6 studio
and
albums.
a couple of live albums on it. Yeah,
Okay.
with the
so
record label.
You completed that contract. So now this is going to be your first album. This next one,
Independently
independent.
released. Yes.
Now, that's gave you so much creative freedom. Can you tell me what's the difference between working with a label like that on that kind of contract between now, what's going on now?
Sure. Well, for this new record, after I made the record, I still went and shopped it around to labels, but I chose independent record labels that can provide label services and worldwide distribution, because most of my audience is outside the U.S. So I still need to find a label partner that can help me speak to, 18 different countries all at the same time. But the biggest difference is when I made the record not under any type of contract, not with any goal even in mind. I just wanted to make something a little different than I've been making, something that's kind of been brewing in the back of my mind for a while. And honestly, I thought this next record, which is the reggae album, I just thought, you know what, this will just be a fun little side project and we'll sell it at the merch table. And if you like it, great, but I won't try to push it. So making an album like that, where you have no ceiling, no committee telling you that, well, we needed a little more something for radio. Like when I was with the label previously, I loved my experience, but you have to get your label excited about the stuff you're making, so that way they can organize their team and rally it and help you promote it. And if they're not excited about it, you'll basically be told to go back to the drawing board and continue to write and develop your act or your songs. And sometimes that would take me 2 to 3 years to build up enough stuff that got them excited to put out an album. But again, like I said, I enjoyed the experience, and the result of that kept me working harder and go write again. Like I'd write 100 songs to get an album made.
Jeez.
That way, the 10 or 12 that made on the record were really the 10 or 12 best songs from the last 2 years of my life, and it worked. It made sense. It made the stage show better. It made my albums better. But going into this project, I didn't want to have too many people that I was sharing the music with. I just wanted to make something rad. And I teamed up with Michael Goldwasser, who's a reggae producer with Easy Star All Stars, and he had done a remix for me. We became fast friends and said, let's just keep messing around, making some songs. And so we just kept messing around. Next thing you know, we're in the studio together with some great musicians, and we just blasted this thing out in like a week. And it had so much, it just sounds like freedom and joy, which is what I was experiencing in my life, was freedom and joy. I was like, wow, I actually finished all my contracts debt-free. And I can make whatever I want now.
You said that there were like 100 songs that you would submit for an album.
Yeah.
Is there ever one that like you wanted to get on, or is there one that you were like, that was the right call not to put that on?
Yeah, the 90 that didn't make it onto a record, those were always the right call.
Yeah.
Was there one that didn't make it on? It's hard to say because it didn't make it on. Yeah. There's plenty that have been in my shows that I'm thinking, man, this works so great live, but in the studio I just couldn't figure it out. You know, like I for years I played a song called Chocolate.
Okay, yeah. You played that at my show, at my stand-up show, the comedy show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Thanks. Never could figure it out in the studio. It just didn't work.
Huh.
On a mic, doing the thing, the humor was gone. There's no laughter. There's no setup. You couldn't tell if I was serious or not.
Yeah. And it's a song about chocolate.
It's a song about
actual
chocolate. Yeah. And the sort of stereotypical assumptions that, you know, women love chocolate. You know, a song about those little details. Anyway, songs like that, many humorous songs that I do, that I thought, oh, this is going to be great on the album, but never make it on the album.
Dude, well, this is your spot for it if you ever need to release a humorous song by Jason Mraz.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Half-Ass was a favorite of mine. Half-Ass.
How did that go?
I did a half-ass job today. Half-ass job today. I didn't do what I was supposed to, but I did it my way.
You had a half-ass job of memorizing it.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay.
I did half as much of nothing and something. But then I would talk about all these different jobs in my life where I actually did a half-ass job. Like you have to manage your boss's expectations. Like if you know you're going to be an hour late, you call the boss and you say, I'm going to be 2 hours late. And then you're only an hour late. And to them, they think you're early.
So you double ass, and then it seems like you're half-assing.
Kind of.
You're full-assing.
I was full
double
assing, but you have to learn how to manage the expectations. If you're going to be a half-ass, you still got to work hard to get by.
You got to put 100% effort into half-assing.
That's right. So I had a song about that.
Okay.
One of my favorites is So You Think You Can Chef? Which is
that a reality show?
It's a song that uses all reality show TV show titles.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you think you can chef God's talent?
Kind of. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a love song.
Do you remember how that goes?
Yeah. So you think you can dance, dancing with the stars. You are an apprentice seeking a master chef who is a bachelor or something like that. You're an American Idol, the next top model, blah, 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 so on. It actually would get a big laugh.
Yeah.
Because the way I do it was kind of like a rock tune. Like,
yeah. Like a Neil Diamond.
So you think you can dance. Yeah, it's great. It's like 2 minutes.
One last question I want to ask. Is there a song or a genre or something that you've ever wanted to try that you've never tried?
Oh, so that might be where we can go with this, I guess. I mean, I've never done like speed metal. Never done like...
I disagree. Yes, you have.
I have?
You don't remember Yoga to Go?
Oh, yeah, Yoga to Go.
Yoga to Go, dude.
Yeah, that's a great clip.
And the great thing about yoga is that you can do it anywhere.
Yoga to go. Yoga to go. Yoga to go. Yoga to go.
I was inspired by skating. Freestyle skateboarders who can bust fat moves in public places. I do the same, but with yoga.
Lucky double. Ice cream crunch. Finger mantis. Sing song. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think you want to do more metal?
No,
Okay.
but you just asked me what's a genre I haven't covered, but I guess
All
I've
right.
just tapped into that.
Dude, we learned so much from you, as always.
Thanks.
I really appreciate you coming and shedding your light, man.
Man, I appreciate that. Thanks for taking the lampshade off of my light
Whoa.
and allowing me to shine
Wow.
here.
Feel those vibes. Jason Mraz is a solid guy, not afraid to be a beginner. He'd rather get burned than stay on simmer. The adventurous general of generous, stacking me with avocados high as Mount Everest. And when we stay at his pad, he makes the best lattes that I ever had. And when the space ran out, he didn't chase us out. He just bought the next place next door to his house. Man, I love staying at Jason's, and if there's no room, I'm staying Jason adjacent. If that ain't enough, his message is love. Yeah, there's something that I heard of, but he took love and made it famous. It was around, but no one was claiming it. Stars don't mean much without astronomers. Words get meaning from philosophers. Until they heard you sing la 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 love 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 love. It wasn't really a thing. Finally, he's authentic, no synthetic, hypoallergenic. His actions speak louder than his speeches, and he's outspoken on very loud speakers, staying in his prime with the optimist mind. Transformational like Optimus Prime. In a world of ill views and fake news, it's refreshing to meet a real dude. Thank you.
Having the best day at a time.